Hello students! For your activity with me this week, we're going to be looking at prefixes. Now, a prefix is the beginning part of some words that mean something and can change what other words mean. Not all words have them, but a lot of words do. So to practice this, we're going to look at 3 different prefixes in sentences. I'll show you how to break the word apart to figure out on your own what the word means. And then we're also going to use those words in sentences. Now, the reason we look at prefixes is because there's a lot of words you'll come across in your reading that have prefixes, and it helps if you know what the words mean so you can understand what you're reading. And knowing prefixes can also give you more words to choose from when you write or when you talk. Okay, the first prefix we're going to look at is dis. Dis means not or opposite. So let's look at dis in a sentence. The boy was dishonest when he told his mom that he finished his vegetables. So our word is dishonest. So now you probably know what dishonest means already, but let's break it down so I can show you how to figure out what other words mean that have prefixes that you might not know for sure. So let's take the first part, dis. And again, we already know that that means not or opposite. Now let's take honest, the second part of that. We know that honest means to tell the truth. So if we put those together, dishonest, that would mean not telling the truth or the opposite of telling the truth. So in other words, dishonest means lie or to not tell the truth. So the boy was lying or not telling the truth when he told his mom he ate all his vegetables. Okay, let's look at another example, and you're going to try to figure out this one with me. So the sentence is disconnect your headphones so I can hear your music too. Our word is disconnect. So let's separate that into the prefix and the rest of the word. The prefix that we're looking at is dis. Now think to yourself for a moment, what does dis mean? Hint, it's right here. It means not or opposite of. And then the rest of the word is connect. Now think to yourself, what does connect mean? If you are told to connect something, that means put it together. So the word disconnect, dis meaning not or opposite, connect meaning put two things together. What do you think disconnect means? It would mean to separate two things, mean pull them apart. So in this sentence, disconnect your headphones so I can hear your music too. If you have headphones in your phone, it would just mean pull the plug out. That would be disconnecting it. So now we're going to look at another prefix, and that is non. Non simply means not. So in a sentence, an example would be, people used to not have cell phones, and apps like TikTok were non-existent. So the word non-existent has the prefix non. Let's break it apart and figure out what it means. So non is the prefix, and we already know that means not. Now let's look at the second part, existent. Now hopefully you already know what that means. If you don't, you can look it up on the internet, but existent would just mean exists. It means that something is there. So if you put the two together, non meaning not and existent meaning something is there, it would mean not there. So apps like TikTok were not there before everyone had cell phones. Let's look at another word with the prefix non in it, and this time again you try to figure out with me what the word means. So our sentence, you should save your money instead of buying non-essential things like junk food. So the word is non-essential. So let's break it down again. First part, or the prefix is non. What does non mean? Again, it's up here. It means not. Now the second part, essential. If you do not know what essential means already, take a moment and look it up on the internet or in a dictionary. Okay, essential means necessary, means something that is needed. So, if we know non means not, and essential means needed, non-essential would mean not needed. So you should save your money instead of buying not needed or non-essential things like junk food. Let's look at our last prefix that we're going to cover here. So the prefix is pre, and pre means before. So in a sentence, looking both ways is a good precaution when crossing the street. So our word with the prefix is precaution. So let's break that down into its two parts. The prefix pre, which we know means before, and then the second part, caution. Now again, if you do not know what caution is, look it up in the dictionary or on the internet. But caution means care or safety or a way to be careful. So I'm going to write careful here. Okay, so pre meaning before and caution meaning careful. That would mean being careful before. So looking both ways is a good precaution when crossing the street. You look both ways before you cross the street. You be careful before doing something. That's what precaution would mean. Okay, here's our last sentence with the word pre in it, and again I want you to answer with me, try to figure it out as we go. So, dinosaurs pre-existed humans by millions of years. So think to yourself, if you're trying to figure out what pre-existed means, what do? We need to break it into its two parts, the prefix, which is pre. Think to yourself, what does pre mean? It means before. And then existed. Very similar to one we did earlier. Exist, what does exist mean? It means to be there, to be around. So, if we put the two together, existed meaning be there, and pre meaning before, and we think dinosaurs pre-existed or they were there before humans by millions of years. So pre-existed would mean that something was there before something else. In this case, dinosaurs were on the earth before humans. Okay, just some real quick instructions for the Google form. I'm going to have you tell me what the word means. That's one part of it. So just for an example, let's say it's pre-existed. When you do that, you're going to type blank means. So in the first blank, put the prefix. And then whatever it means. The second blank means you'll put the rest of the word. In this case, existed. And then you'll write what the word means. And then, so, blank means, here, the whole word is going to go. So that is pre-existed. So pre-existed means, and then fill in what it means. And then the second part of the Google form is I'm going to have you use the word in your own sentence. You have to create your own sentence. So I'll be on the Google Meet later this day, and you can come on and ask me for help if you need.